heart of South Philly. Let's go see what the people have got to say. I'm ready to roll if they need me.
Now listen here, Dutch. The Mets and the Cowboys, they suck.
1, 2, 3, go Birds! Go Birds! Here we go, 302BIRDS, United States. Go Birds!
Go Birds.
Get your water ice and soft pretzels ready because you are now tuned into a 302BIRDS podcast experience. Proudly presented by TickPick, Nick's Pizza, El Diablo Burritos, and Klondike Kate's on the heart of Main Street. Let's take it to the show.
So if Ballpark Tommy was here tonight, which unfortunately he can't be, he's working, but if he was here, he would probably look at Jack Dordan in the face and he would say, "Hey, Jack, it ain't football season anymore, baby. Baseball is back." And the Phillies have a task unlike any other. They need to match the Eagles' energy and give us a parade. A pretty big task for sure. But welcome, everybody, to 302BIRDS Season 8, Episode 5. I'm your host, Dalton, joined by KJ McCoy, Shardy, Jack Dordan, and Josh Sepp. We're here to bring you the greatest and latest in Philly sports coverage. And also, we got a special guest on the call-in. Real quick, I'm going to give you guys a quick overview and then kick it to Jack for his weekly call-ins. But here's what's on tap for tonight. We got an opening day preview. Who is going to lead off, and does it really matter for the Philadelphia Phillies? Doesn't make a difference. Ranger Suárez being in, Walker being out, Alvarado back to himself, JT and Kyle Schwarber potentially on the go sometime soon, the Sixers being Tank City, Fred Johnson to the Jaguars, and the Eagles looking towards a draft trend that they've had before with offensive line. But let's go ahead and move it to the weekly call-in segment. Let me get my up there.
What do I want when I'm in the state of Delaware? Of course, El Diablo Burritos. Customer service always is serving your food with a smile on their face, asking how your day is, but their food is phenomenal as well. Their burritos are out of this world, one of the best burritos in town. Their queso is phenomenal. Their burrito bowls are amazing as well. When you're in and around Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo Burritos and tell them that 302BIRDS sent you. God bless, go Birds.
Well, like you said, if you're in and around Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo Burrito. Tonight we got CJ Rome. Hey, Rome, what's up, my guy?
Hey, Rome. How's it going, bud?
Thanks for having me on. Let's go. I'm fired up for tomorrow. Here we go.
What do you got for us tonight? What question do you have for us?
Got?
Oh, dude, I've been thinking about the leadoff spot, just like how Dalt said before we joined on here. And to be honest with you, I think I would like to see them switch it up for a little bit. Let's just see what happens. Personally, I think that the pressure is on them, but I don't want to see the pressure being on them. I say you go guns blazing, let Turner lead off, let him steal here and there, and let's just see what happens. I mean, I don't know. Do you guys have anything? But that's my gut instinct right now.
I think this, right? So I agree with you there. I think Turner should be the leadoff spot, and here's why. And this is just what I thought the past couple of years is Kyle Schwarber is a great leadoff guy. He'll get you the runs here and there when you need it. He'll get on base, whatever. But I feel like the past couple of years, it's really been a waste of power because he'll hit a leadoff bomb. He'll get on base, whatever. And then you got, Trey Turner behind him, Bryce Harper behind him, so on and so forth, where they'll come up to the plate and they'll strike out, they'll ground out, whatever. And that it's not working. So I feel like if honestly You move Kyle Schwarber down to maybe the 4th spot, your cleanup hitter. You get Trey Turner on base, Bryce Harper on base, and whoever's in that 3rd spot, whether it's Alec Boehm, Nick Castellanos, whoever you want to throw in there. Now you have Kyle Schwarber coming up to the plate. That's a guy that's going to get you runs. That's a guy that's going to drive in runs with a bomb or something. I mean, last year he cleaned up a lot of his mistakes at the plate, was getting on base with singles and doubles. So I agree with you, Rome. I really think you should put Trey Turner in that leadoff spot. And if Rob Thompson keeps throwing out the same lineup, then it's another year of disappointment, personally. Which I'll get into that in a second because I have a whole thing on that. But
yeah, I think you got to change it up. I think, you know what, obviously we've kind of had 2 disappointing seasons in a row where we kind of felt like we could have been a World Series contender and we weren't. So, I mean, that's the thing that I feel like we can obviously look back at. And obviously having Schwarber at that leadoff spot, I mean, it seems like we've been talking about this for years now. Why is he the leadoff guy? Why not switch it up a little bit? Especially with Trey Turner having the slump he kind of had, or people are saying he had a slump. If you want to make it so then you don't hear that kind of talk again about a slump or a potential slump, then I think you put him at a different kind of you put him at the leadoff spot. He seems like he's comfortable with the leadoff spot. I heard an interview that he was saying that he finds it more fun to be the leadoff hitter. He feels more comfortable. So I think, honestly, I think you go for it. I think you go and give this man the leadoff spot. I mean, I don't think it's going to hurt. And obviously, if it is hurting the team, then you make a change. But I think the guy is a multi-time All-Star. And if we want to get what get everything our money's worth, or whatever that saying is, then we should obviously go for it. I think you got to try and spice it up a little bit. I agree.
I'll say, yeah. The quick thing I wanted to say is just getting speed out there. That's everything that I've heard. Everybody who has a baseball mind, Rollins, everybody, getting speed on the bag early. Like, we haven't really seen that with this Phillies lineup. Yeah, we've seen that Schwarber record of the most homers ever. I think it was like the graphic when we made it last year. It was like 14 leadoff home runs ever. That's nuts. But where has that really gotten us? Yeah, we've gotten to the World Series in 2022, but they need to change something up. They have a great group of guys. I think that they realize that. They just haven't really found a way to blend the ingredients into a good recipe, if that makes sense. And I do think that they're going to blend it into a good recipe, because I will say this, it's either going to be a really good year. It'll be a big year for the Phillies, either really good or really bad, but it's going to be a big year either way.
Rob Thompson just really needs to throw the analytics out the window. That's been the major complaint with fans the past couple of years, is that he relies way too much on analytics, way too much. And granted, analytics at times, they do work. Don't get me wrong. But we've seen, again, the same thing for the past couple of years. You got to change. You got to bring something fresh to the table.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree. And just to add something, I know last year Turner was injured for, I think, a month of the season. So he only had 19 stolen bases. There's like a pro and con to this. Obviously, the con is, okay, if Turner goes, he gets thrown out. Now there's one out, Harper coming up, where if Turner just doesn't steal and Harper hits one in the gap, he could probably score from first to third or either first to home. But I say they come out guns blazing. He gets on base. You're gone after a pitch or two. Let's just see what happens here. And then all it's going to take is a Harper base hit, and the score is going to be 1-0 in the first inning. So I'm with you guys. I want to see it happen.
Do you think that this will be a good recipe for the Phillies' success, Rome? Like, do you think that we'll kind of see a difference? And one follow-up question to that, too. We were asked this question, KJ and I. Shout out to Fox 29 and the Fantastic Sports Show. Watch it tonight at 11:30. But do you think that the Phillies will go deep in the playoffs, like just from making the playoffs? Like, are you kind of in the mindset of just get in and you're good? Or are you under the mindset of like,
I'm going to stop you there. We haven't had our first game, so I think it's way too early.
I would stop you there
figure out
I wasn't
what we're
asking
doing.
you in the Eagles.
I know, but
don't.
this is what you do. You make these bold statements
because that's what we do
to happen. So I think it's too early to tell.
because that's how you start conversation. But anyway, bro,
loves the
A and B
jinx.
conversation,
He
they can
loves the
see
jinx.
themselves out of it. Do you think that just making it to the playoffs for the Phillies is the mindset this year, or
Yeah.
do you want them to go out with a good record?
Yeah, so back to your first question about like leadoff hitter. I think Turner's the answer. If you look around the league, you have Acuna leading off, speedster. You have Gunnar Henderson. I think he led off or batted second last year. And you also have Bobby Witt Jr., who pretty much bats first for the Royals. So your speedy shortstop's got to be in there. As for the playoffs, I truly believe, I mean, we saw in 22, as long as you got in, you can make anything happen, but I still think they need a good record. You want Zach Wheeler getting the ball for game 1 of the NLDS if you win the division. You don't want to play with fire just getting in the wild card. You want to be home. Personally, to me, I don't care about the week off. You want your ace on the mound at home in a best-of-5 series. So that's the way I would think about it. Mm-hmm.
That's why I asked him that question, Jack. I'm just saying, because that was, I like that answer. I agree with it. I think if you just get in, even if you're in the wild card, playing baseball, like you said, history repeats itself is not a bad thing. But I agree with it. I like that answer a lot.
What can I ask a question? Because I don't know baseball. I feel like I will miss a nice Schwarber piss missile though, like, right off the bat, like to start the game. Like they really get me into the game. I like watching baseball, but like I don't know strategy or anything. But I like piss missiles.
And if you take a bet on Schwarber to take an anytime home run and like the 4th fucking pitch of the game, that bet hits. That happened to me. I think it was when we played the Mets. It was one of the first games when he had a leadoff home run. And I took him to take a home run in that game. That's just one of the best feelings as a bettor. When like all of your work's out of the way, 4th pitch of the game, and you can kind of just relax. The Phillies are up. Life is good. So I do think that we'll start to see a trend from the Phillies in the right direction. But Rome, I want to thank you for joining us here as our call-in brother. We appreciate the hell out of you.
Thank you, boys.
Bud. We appreciate you, Bud.
Let's go.
We appreciate you,
this
Bud.
year. We're winning it all. Let's go, boys. Come on.
Ring the bell, Rome. Ring the bell.
Where's my bell?
Ring the bell.
I don't have one, but okay.
Ring
it up. Let's go.
KJ will have to mail you one, but we sincerely appreciate you for real, man. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, everyone. Thank you. There it is. Ring it. Let's go.
There it is.
Can you give it a good ring, Mac? For good luck to start this. There it is. Well, that was what the Phillies needed. If rubbing Buddha's belly in a way is the same thing, opening day is here. And he can't be here, but we'll still hit his intro. I almost threw Shard on it, but I didn't have enough time because that would have been like the April Fool's prank of the year. Time for Phillies talk with Ballpark Tommy. Finger stitch.
Ballpark Shardy.
I don't want to take Tommy's. I don't want to take the. Ooh, I just like.
Well, you've been here. He hasn't.
Hey, he's busy doing taxes, so whatever.
He's doing job
shit. He's an accountant, KJ.
Yeah, taxes, smaxes, whatever.
So, I mean, I want to be a little bit depressing, and I apologize in advance. I've talked to a couple of my close friends that are also Phillies fans. Bunch of people that, I've met doing this show, and just people that I've talked to across social media. For example, my boy Harry, he's a fan that I found through when we did the interview with Dave from UK Phillies last year. I met some British fans, and it just seems like it's the same consensus. My friend Harry, he might be watching now, but it's just there's no excitement really with the Phillies this year. There's none. I think Joseph put it in the comments. I'm going to pull it back up, but the Eagles, I mean, we're all still high on the Eagles right now. Like, that's going to be the premise for the entire year. And I feel like really the Phillies have a lot of weight on their shoulders, because it's just like Joseph said here, the Eagles won a Super Bowl, and it's like the Phillies are more than capable of going all the way. You have on paper probably one of the best teams in the entire MLB. But realistically, what have you done the past couple of years to excite fans? I mean, 2022, you fell short to the Astros. 2023, you fell short to the Diamondbacks. 2024, you fell short to the Mets. So it's like, this is just another year where it's just like, who are we going to fall short to now? And I'm not excited. I'm not really buying in. I'm going to go to games. I'm going to buy beer bats. I'm going to, go with you guys. We're going to have a good time. But I'm not excited. I'm not excited. And, we'll get into the next topic here in a few minutes, but the news that came out about Ranger Suárez, again, that's just doesn't excite me.
Mac, you got any positive in you?
I mean, obviously it is a big problem to not have Ranger on the mound and to obviously have a guy like, what's his name? Taijuan Walker out there. I mean, that's just causing havoc. It really is, for sure. I mean, you're just going to, obviously there's going to be a lot of runs and the Colorado Rockies are going to look like a World Series team when they're playing us when Taijuan Walker's pitching. So I think that's the main thing you can think about. But yeah, I mean, I think if you think about it as well, we have the hitting right now. I think we got all of our batters right now. We got Harper, we got Trey, we got Schwarber, we got Castellanos, we got Bryson, we got Alec Boehm as well. So I think everybody's going to be out there hitting wise. So I think that's the good thing about it. But I mean, just like obviously when you got a pitcher like Taijuan Walker that's going to give up runs, I mean, like there's nothing you can really do about that if he's going to give up home runs and stuff like that. But I think we got to look at the other positive days and like the days that Wheeler's pitching, the days that Nola's pitching. So, I mean, those are the positive days for sure. So we'll see what happens. And I think the Phillies can get some early wins for sure. I think you got some opponents that aren't going to be too tough of opponents. So, I mean, the Rockies shouldn't be too bad. The Nationals shouldn't be too bad. I'm trying to think of the other teams that we have during this month. Sure. I mean, you can
Dodgers.
Okay.
Dodgers, Rockies, Nationals.
The Dodgers, that won't be easy at all. That will not.
I think we play the Rays in April.
Okay.
But I think we play the Rays at their new spring training.
Yeah, the Yankees. Yeah, the Yankees place. Yeah, the Yankees spring trainings in Tampa.
Right. So, I mean, it's going to be an interesting month. The Phillies either come out really hot or really slow. It's nothing in between. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm not too overly ecstatic for opening day. Like, obviously I'm going to watch, but anything's going to happen.
Yeah. What about you, Zeppelin? I mean, your favorite guy, Reese Hoskins, your like only Phillies jersey that you have, you can't rock anymore. Well, you can, but not the same way.
I actually still rock it. And I got to be honest, I'm like definitely overlooking opening day tomorrow because my Real Terps play in the Sweet 16 tomorrow night. But besides that, I'll be honest, I'm the first guy to say I don't really start watching the Phillies till like mid to late June, honestly, give or take. But let me paint you boys a picture, and I've said this on this podcast.
God, every time he says this something good happens.
Shut the hell up. KJ, let me reel you into this, all right?
Ooh.
It's a Saturday, late September, early October. You're watching college football all day. There's a little fall chill in the air, right?
Yeah.
College football ends, you go to the bar, you have a few, maybe you have a few more. You come back home, bonfire outside, you watch the Phillies, either in playoff baseball or fighting for playoff baseball. A little bonfire TV outside, fall chill in the air. You watch college football all day, nothing better. Nothing better than that feeling. And I stand by that. Nothing better. So, yes, if the Phillies suck by July, I won't watch them. Like, I'll be honest, I'm a fair weather fan. But if they're good, I will watch them. I will get hyped for Red October. To get there, you got to fight for the next 6 months. So I'm hyped. Yeah. I'm excited. Roll Terps, Red October, go Phils.
Well, I'll tell you this, Zep. I mean, that day that college football will be going on, that'll probably be the day that Maryland is getting like they're getting thumped by Penn State. So I'll just tell you that.
KJ, this is the Phillies. This is the Phillies segment, KJ. Let's give it
Well, you did put it into the Terrapins. It's not Terrapins section. I mean, it's not their topic.
So Rome kind of led off with this. I guess we kind of hit on this of who leads off. I guess I'll ask you guys the question though. Does it really even matter? Like, does it really make a difference? I think it does, but some people don't. Shard, why do you think it makes a difference?
I mean, I kind of already said it, like, and Rome kind of said it too. I'm going to piggyback off of what Rome said. We really haven't had a speed guy on base to kind of lead off. And again, you get Trey Turner on base. He's stealing a bag or two, guaranteed. He's speedy as hell. He has a nice slide. He's stealing a base or two. You get Bryce Harper up there. You get Nick Castellanos up there. You get Kyle Schwarber up there. You're guaranteed, if things go the way we think they'll go, to get runs one way or another. I do think it makes a difference. And I think, again, I really just think you're wasting Kyle Schwarber's power in that leadoff spot. Because, yes, like you said, Dolt, he does have the most leadoff home runs in the MLB or Phillies or whatever it was. I'm drawing a blank right now. But, again, imagine that in the 4-hole, 14 home runs, you're driving in 2 to 3 runs each time. I want you to picture that, right? That's a buttload of runs that you could be driving in with that power.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the idea a lot. I think they were talking about it on WIP a lot and if it really matters. And I really thought about it. And I was kind of on the fence before the podcast. But now that obviously I trust your baseball opinion, you and Ballpark are two of the biggest baseball minds I know. You guys know your shit. But I was like, and now that I've heard it and now that I really think about it, it's like, where has it gotten us? It's cool and all. The record's great, but where has it gotten us? So I like the idea of getting Turner on the bag. And I was doing a little bit of research before the show too. And Jimmy Rollins said essentially something to the effect of, you have a way better chance to score with Trey on the bag and Schwarber at bat than the flip side of that, where Schwarber's on the bag and his slow ass has got to run then, and then you got Trey. So I like it. I think it could be good for the Phillies. I think that they need to change some things up, and we will definitely see where it takes them, just like we will see where this injury takes Ranger. I did have some stats about Ranger I just wanted to bring up real quick. I think I wanted you to double check me on this, Shard, but didn't he start the season off with like a 9 or 10 game win streak last year?
Yeah, he started off last year really hot. Really, really hot.
Yeah.
And to see him start off the season this year on the IL is just very disappointing. And I'm just getting flashbacks of last year because when he came off of the IL last year, it was a little bit rocky. Like,
yeah,
it took him a while to get back to his normal self.
Was it like I think it might have been 10 games. I remember 10 in my head for some reason, but I looked at his record last year. It was 12-8. So like there was that win streak, but then there was that loss streak. So it's like the two flip sides of the coin. I think if you can somehow figure out, and you're gonna, Ranger Suárez is one of the players that I have the utmost confidence in the Phillies organization. I've been watching him since I was in college there. Like he's really been with the organization for a long time. I think it's his 6th year now. No, it's his 8th. It's his 8th. Sorry. But yeah, it's his 8th year already. And the Phillies have really invested a lot in him. He wants to be here. And I just feel like this year, Ranger is going to unlock something in himself that he hasn't seen before. And I think it's going to be later in the year that we're going to see it. Like, I think it could be kind of a flip of what it was last year. Last year, he started off good. And then, like Shard just said, it got rocky towards the end. I think it might be rocky for the comeback. But if the Phillies have the same faith in him, especially Philly Rob, and they have that trust, especially once you get to August, mark my words, I think once you get to August, Suárez is going to start to really find a stride and start running with it. I think it's going to be good. What's going on, everybody in the chat? Thank you guys for joining Waterboy Sports. Appreciate you guys in here. But I mean,
didn't Suárez have like the funny line last year when they were winning, and they were like, what's special about you in the season? He's like, I'm a fat motherfucker or something.
No,
was
that Alvarado?
That was Alvarado.
Okay.
No, I remember what
I
you
mean,
said.
if you guys are ready,
Alvarado's-
that's actually a good transition to our next topic.
I'm not ready.
We're going to talk about.
I have some more for Walker.
All right, yeah, I knew he was going to lay. That was why I was about to volley it up to him. All right, let's hear it for Walker.
Just okay, what? Grab your popcorn because I'm about to go on a little bit of a mini rant here.
Go off on a.
So just really Walker, that's your best option as your fifth starter. I mean, you look at how terrible he was last year when he pitched. He got thrown in the bullpen. You spent this money in the offseason to send him to a rehab program, whatever the hell you sent him to in the offseason. His first 3 starts, I have him pulled up here. First 3 starts of spring training, went 9.1 innings pitched, let up 10 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 batter walked, 5 Ks, 3.86 ERA. Not good, not terrible. I can deal with that. If you're coming in as a fifth starter, you're letting up 1 to 2 runs per outing, fine. Whatever. That's fine. His last 2 starts, though, he just imploded. Fucking imploded. 7.2 innings pitched, 15 hits, 10 earned runs, most of them being home runs, 5 batters walked, only 3 strikeouts. His ERA jumped up to a 12.68. So, why are we... I get the contract. I get that, you have to honor the contract. But at this point, you got to throw it out the window. You got to throw it out the window. What happened to Turnbull? Where did Turnbull go? He got injured and nobody heard from him ever since. So it's just realistically, we don't have somebody in the minors. We don't have somebody we could have signed for that 5th spot because I cannot take another season of watching Taijuan Walker pitch. And a lot of people I've talked to have said the same thing. Oh, well, the wins don't matter in April. I say bullshit to that because if you're down the stretch and it's about to be playoff time and you're half a game to a game back and you're looking at this season and you're like, what can I improve? How could I have gotten this win back to get me into that playoff spot, into that 1 spot to win the division? You know what I'm looking at? Taijuan fucking Walker. That's what I'm looking at. So that's where I'm going to leave that because I think Dave Dombrowski and Rob Thompson are making the worst decision for the team.
Yeah, they were calling him Dombrowski this week on WIP. Yeah. Sorry.
It's a real head scratcher. It makes no sense. I mean, obviously the guy gives up runs. The guy gives up home runs. And it just what made you think? I mean, what lesson did you learn from last year? I mean, what positives did you see from this man? Nothing. You saw nothing from him. So why give the fan base, why give the organization who I know that Bryce Harper and some other guys don't feel confident when they see this guy on the mound. It's obvious. You could see the way that they kind of you could see their posture and everything like that. They're just oh my gosh, this guy's got to pitch again.
I'm glad you see that too, KJ, because that was going to be my next question is,
yeah.
Did you guys see last year how the mood shifted when Walker was on the mound?
Yeah. No, I'm serious. That's why I brought it up. It's definitely why I brought it up. I remember that was the one thing. I remember I could see that when Taijuan Walker was pitching, I could just see Harper, and then I think it was either Harper, and then it was also Trey Turner. You could just see in their faces, they're oh my gosh, I gotta really I gotta wake up. Well, for Harper, not. I mean, obviously he was DH. So I mean, no, he wasn't. Never mind. He was in. He's first base. So, but yeah, it just seemed like they were obviously okay, I gotta wake up because obviously there's gonna be some hits. I mean, I gotta wake up on defense or whatever. So I mean, you could just see with the posture that this man's gonna give up runs. He really will. So I don't know how this organization thinks that this guy has any kind of positive intangibles to him at all.
Yo, this comment by the fucking Moose is hilarious. If Howie was the GM of the Phillies, Walker would have been cut a long time ago. I think Moose might be onto something. If we
Yeah,
can get
seriously.
Howie to double as the GM position for both, why not? I mean, I don't know what his eye looks like for baseball, but he's definitely got a knack for signing players. But moving on now.
Yeah.
Huh?
I was going to say,
all good.
I think the way that Dombrowski with this move is, it's almost like what Daryl Morey does with the freaking Sixers. I mean, just like keeping Joel, keeping certain players that are just not really doing anything for the organization. It's just like Taiwan Walker's just honestly hurting this organization, and that's what's happening. So that's what I think.
Well, I'll say this: the Sixers will get their share in this podcast. KJ, don't worry. We're going to talk about.
I just was comparing. Comparing it, like it seems like with this move, like Dombrowski's acting like Daryl Morey. That's what it seems like.
Oh, the name Daryl Morey. It's like nailed on a chalkboard for Sixers fans. But I want to get to this next topic, which is Alvarado. Sharp, my Phillies fan on the podcast. I got 4 words for you, and they are not in English, my friend. So bear with me while I do my best to speak in Espanol. But these are words that are uttered from Venezuela. El de caja seca. That means the dry box. Alvarado went out on a boat for 4 days in Venezuela, a boat that he owns in his hometown. He pondered life. He caught red snapper, and he found himself again. And he figured out a way to leave the past in the past. He went down from 264 to about 250-ish, so he's dropped around 15 pounds, give or take. And apparently he looks a lot better. When he showed up to camp, Nola said, "Skinny boy, is that you?" He said, "No, I'm fat boy. You know me, I'm fat boy." That's his joke. But I really do think that Alvarado, like Suárez, the 2 Venezuelans, are going to find their stride for the Phillies this year. I think when you're more conditioned, which it sounds like he is, he started running again, apparently with something in the offseason. He just felt heavier last year. And I think that was why he felt a little bit off balance on the mound. Pitching is something where you really need to be in good conditioning, have good balance. You need to really be athletic as hell. Being a pitcher is not easy, getting that ball to that speed. It takes a lot. And I think that he's kind of shed this weight, and the fact that he's found himself, he's in a good mental space. I think we'll see a good season out of Alvarado. Stay tuned.
We'll see. Because he pulled the Aaron Rodgers effect. So we saw Aaron Rodgers went to a dark room.
Aaron Rodgers is a different level. I mean, that thing is like that kind of.
Well, let him explain first. Let him explain first. Go explain it, Jack. Explain it.
Yeah, I mean, so we all know Aaron Rodgers went to a dark cave and smoked some mushrooms and got high and really reflected his life on, do I really want to be here? What do I need to improve as a person or as a quarterback? Allegedly. So hopefully this works out.
You did ayahuasca, you 2 fucking mothers.
Oh, ayahuasca's legal, buddy. Let's calm down there.
Exactly.
But
yeah, I mean, Rangers. Jose Alvarado is one of the best pitchers that this Phillies team has had in the past couple years, and he was throwing gas. He kind of had a fall off towards the end of the season last year. But I hope, with him losing that weight and kind of finding himself, as he said, hopefully it transitions into the ballpark and we see a different Alvarado for sure.
Nothing bad has ever happened on a boat. So I'm down with taking
Titanic.
Titanic.
That was actually a ship, not a boat. So let's get the nothing bad ever happened on a boat.
He did slim down. I mean, looking at his stats, his spring training stats look great. Had 9 games where he pitched an inning in each. So he pitched a total of 9 innings. But like his stats just look great. 20 strikeouts, 0.67 whip, which is amazing. 0 ERA, didn't let up any earned runs in any of his innings that he pitched. So, his velocity is up there. His control is up there. And like you said, Dole, I do think that him slimming down does help because, you got to be able to control your ball, to put power in your ball. And if you're tacking on weight, it's weight dragging you down.
The hefty lefty potentially is back for the Phillies. I know I'm excited to see it. He's somebody that he definitely has a lot of personality. And I think that that's something that's going to be a good thing for the Phillies this year. I know I get on Marsh's case a lot because Marsh just can fucking suck at times. That's the simplest way I can put it. But I do feel like guys with personality will go far on the Phillies team this year. They need that personality. They need that edge. They need that locker room fun. You need to look forward to coming to work to perform well. And I feel like if these guys all can look forward to being in that locker room, they're all excited. They all like being with each other, which I don't know who wouldn't like being around this guy. Good things will happen.
They got rid of Stubbs. They got rid of Stubbs, though. They got rid of their chief vibe officer.
Yeah, I guess.
So,
But I mean, that was kind of long overdue. And I think the biggest thing, at least that I heard, was I know that if Marshawn would have went on waivers, he probably would have gotten snatched up. So I guess that was kind of their mindset with Stubbs kind of going down. We'll see how it goes for the Phillies. I guess that they always have the option that they could switch the two out later in the year. And if they don't like it, but we will really see what way that cookie crumbles. But Shardy, I'll let you take it first, and then we'll go to KJ, Jack, and myself. JT and Schwarber in a little bit of a predicament for the Phillies. Do you think that they will stay? Because a big payday could be coming for them.
Well, here's my thing, right? And I know I got cooked by your guest after I left last week with the whole luxury tax
Oh,
thing.
yeah, that was funny.
Which I don't fucking care about the luxury tax. Like, my whole thing is like, if you're in talks to sign somebody, fucking sign somebody. That's my thing. But anyway, I'm kind of on the fence with this. You have two guys that they're aging. And realistically, you're going to have to pay Bryce Harper soon as well. Do you really want to throw out major money to two guys that are aging? If I had my choice, I would probably keep Kyle Schwarber. I would. I don't know how much of a extension you would do realistically because he is aging. But JT, and I'm going to bring up Moose's comment here, who's the catcher to replace JT. You have Marshawn, you have Stubbs. So, I mean, you have two guys that are capable of replacing JT if he does walk. I just like that's the thing is like I want this Phillies team to get better and I want them to be able to sign younger players. That's really what I want is for them to sign guys that can be with the team for years on end. But if you're giving out bags to Kyle Schwarber and JT who are aging, you're not able to do that. So I just I'm at an impasse because I don't know how to handle the situation. And it's going to suck if they leave, but at the same time, they're getting old.
Yeah,
I get that.
I think the right move is to sign, if anybody, sign Schwarber in front of JT. I just feel like JT is kind of declining in general, but I mean, I kind of like Marshawn as a second option. I feel like he kind of deserves a spot more than Stubbs. I know that Stubbs is like a locker room favorite, but I felt like Marshawn had more to really kind of offer for the Phils. And I mean, I feel like when he kind of got called up, I felt like he kind of stepped up and really kind of he obviously substituted for JT, kind of came up in that role and he was a pretty good catcher for us. So I feel like if we felt like, you know what, we got to move on from JT or either he retires or he goes somewhere else, I think I would feel like, I feel like we're in good hands with a guy like Marshawn. So I would kind of trust in him more than Stubbs. I mean, I feel like a lot of people have been wanting Stubbs to move down. So I think that's a wish from a lot of fans. So I'd probably say Marshawn's a guy. But then, yeah, I think Schwarber's a fan favorite. You can't really get rid of him like that. I know there were some people who were saying oh, well, I wouldn't mind Schwarber getting traded or something like that. I mean, obviously Schwarber, I mean, as Zepp was saying a couple minutes ago, I mean, just a good missile from him, the homers that he has. I mean, I know he's either a home run or not kind of guy. He'll go for the fences every time he wants to go for the fences. So I think that's a guy you want to keep around, obviously. But like, yeah, I mean, I'd rather keep Schwarber than JT.
Well, I mean, Kyle is 34. JT is 32. So again, they're not old per se, like they're not too old, but also they are aging. That's my biggest concern. But
go ahead.
I was asking you what you think.
JT, I mean, granted, he's 32 years old, but I feel like the catcher position is definitely a lot of wear and tear on the body. And I think, getting younger legs to be that catcher is kind of what we should move towards. I mean, JT's still a great catcher and a great batter, but I mean, we don't really have a guy. I mean, what's his face? Bryce Harper used to be that guy we could rely on to get home runs and things like that, which we still can. But I feel like Kyle Schwarber, there's more chances and opportunities for him to get a home run than say Bryce Harper. So I think we would let go a lot of a player if we got rid of Schwarber and kept JT.
Yeah, I think that the Phillies getting younger in any sport is a good thing. If they can figure out a way to get younger, they're going to be good as a whole, because I just feel like younger teams as a whole just come out with more fire. And there's definitely something to be said for being younger as a business. Like when it's a business like this and you got to pay these guys long-term, you really want that long-term investment, kind of like Howie does. That's why Moose's comment cracked me up so much. But this is actually a good moment in the show to actually segue into one of our favorite segments, Jack's Trivia. Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dorden, the mayor of Delaware.
Thank you to TickPick for that sponsorship. It is Philadelphia Phillies season. Buy your tickets through there without any fees. Season 8 scoreboard, we got the fans with 1. We got Dalton with 2, a surprising 2. We have KJ with 1, and the rest of the board is 0. So tonight's question I have for you is, who was the founder that led to the creation of the Philadelphia Eagles? Who was the founder that led to the creation of the Philadelphia Eagles? A, Burt Bell. B, Greasy Neal. C, Lud Ray. Or D, Jerry Woolman? Again, who was the founder that led to the creation of the Philadelphia Eagles? A, Burt Bell. B, Greasy Neal. C, Lud Ray. Or D, Jerry Woolman? We'll give you the answer towards the end of the show.
All right, I texted you mine. Stay tuned.
Yep, I did too.
All right, get ready. But moving on now to our next segment, I'm going to bounce past it to my boy for some more depression.
You are now listening to KJ's Court Sixers Talk, presented by the Sleeper app.
So right now I got the game on right now, and it happens to be like Will Smith night. So Will Smith's actually there courtside, but the Sixers are currently losing to the Washington Wizards 115-99. This team sucks. They are just depressing to watch, and it's just like, honestly, like pulling needles from your face right now. This is what it's like, and it's just painful. It really is. So, yeah, I mean, you could think about it. Cooper Flagg, hopefully he doesn't stay with Duke. Hopefully we try and get Cooper Flagg. Try and tank for Flagg. I want the flag. Let's wave the white flag, and let's get Cooper Flagg. So, I mean,
do you think that Coop would make a difference on this team, like immediately, or do you think it would take some time? Like, do you think that there would be a 2 or 3 year rebuild period where the Sixers are pretty much irrelevant like they are? Or do you think that pretty much they could make an impact in the playoffs right away with a kid like this?
Well, I mean, he's got to stay healthy. That's the main thing. And obviously with Duke players coming out of Duke, sometimes it's a little bit of a problem with injuries. I mean, you've kind of seen it with Zion. You've seen it with Kyrie as well. But when Kyrie's healthy, I mean, he's one of the best players. He's one of the best ball handlers of all time. But you kind of see that too. I mean, like I feel like with Cooper Flagg, it's just like the kid is already showing that he's going to be that insane. So I think he could really make like an impact for sure. But also we got to get some players healthy, and hopefully Paul George or whoever Paul George is healthy. Hopefully that'll be nice because he's not going to be healthy for the rest of the season. He's done. So, yeah, I think, you know what? You get Cooper Flag. Hopefully you get him. But it's going to be tough because other teams are going to try and, they want to win the lottery. And obviously this guy will be the first pick. So I don't know if we'll get the first pick or not, but we just got to wait and see because the lottery is not like what it used to be. I mean, everybody pretty much has a chance now at the first pick. It's kind of different. I mean, so even though people are like, oh, tank, like we used to, it's not really like that anymore. I talked about this on the Sixers post game a couple weeks ago or a couple days ago. Like the Pistons had the worst record the year that Victor Wembanyama, I think it was like 2 years ago when Wembanyama was the first pick, and they didn't get him because it was a new lottery system that they were doing. So it was like a certain percentage they get. But I would love to do what B. Murph just said. Trade Embiid, build around Maxey and Flag. Here's the problem, though. Daryl Morey is the GM, though. He's an evil emperor, evil overlord. He's a freaking gremlin, that guy. Not a good gremlin, but he's like evil. He's like doing some maniacal laugh, and he just like doesn't care about this organization. He hates the fans. He hates us. He tweets about us more than he actually like focuses to the team's future. He just wants to jeopardize our future, and he just hates us. He really does. So I don't know why he ever got hired. I think it was such a bad move. I would have rather had Elton Brand, honestly, still be the GM of this team than have Daryl Morey be the GM of this team. So, but yes, Josh, you're exactly right, Moose. Josh Harris is the problem. Josh Harris, go focus on your Washington Commanders. Go focus on them. They have more promise. So go deal with them and just sell the Sixers. And that goes for Comcast as well. Sell the Sixers. So
as a fan, I feel like it should be illegal for an owner to own multiple teams. Like, I feel like it's like a Chick-fil-A. Wait, hear me out. Hear me out, Jack.
Yeah.
And Jack, I think, will know this because shout out to our boy BG. He used to work at Chick-fil-A, so he gives us some inside knowledge. When he was in college, he told me this, and I never knew this before. To own a Chick-fil-A, you can't own any other businesses. So essentially, like, your only obligation can be to Chick-fil-A is their reasoning. They don't want you like having this business here and this business here and then being an owner in Chick-fil-A because you're not going to be able to be 100% to Chick-fil-A. So I feel like in ownership of sports, it should kind of apply the same principle. Like, I don't want Jeffrey Lurie owning the Celtics. The Celtics are one of the most relevant franchises in all of sports. You could argue, as much as I love the Philadelphia Eagles and how much more relevant they've become, especially in our lifetime in recent years, you could still argue that because of all the championships and historical success and players like Larry Bird, that the Celtics are more historically relevant than the Eagles. I hate to say it, but it's just, if you're looking at it from a realistic outside-in perspective, which means as an Eagles fan, I don't want Jeffrey Lurie owning another team because that's going to be taking time away that he could be spending in the Philadelphia Eagles, giving us 110%. So I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about it, but I just know that Josh Harris isn't doing a good enough job. And I do know that owning 3 teams in Washington, Philadelphia, and New Jersey is like a fucking crime. Like, any NFC East fan just gags just thinking about that love triangle that Josh Harris really has with the NFC East and their fandom. It's disgusting.
It's weird because, I mean, Moose just brought it up too. The Sixers are the only team, he's exactly right, that did not congratulate the Birds when they won the NFC championship. I wonder why. Yeah, I wonder why too. I mean, it's funny because obviously his Commanders lost to the Eagles. And I mean, obviously, like, at your games, Josh Harris, you obviously, most of the fans, I'd probably say 95% of the fans are Sixers and Eagles fans. So, I mean, that's the main thing. You see fans there sometimes with Eagles jerseys on. I mean, especially after the Super Bowl. I mean, you're going to see it at every game. You're going to see it at the Phillies game. Well, not tomorrow because you're going to be in D.C. You might have some fans traveling and maybe rocking some Eagles jerseys. But you're going to see this for a little while, and as you should. They won the Super Bowl. I mean, it's the most exciting. Like Dole even said, like, I'm trying to get over the high of the Super Bowl championship. I can't get over it. I can't stop buying stuff. I cannot stop buying things. You can probably see right over here. I just bought a new poster back there, Super Bowl champions poster. I got another one. I got pennants. I got everything I've been buying like crazy. If I see something at the store, I freaking buy it. But with the Sixers right now, if you see something, smash it. That's what you do right now. Smash it, throw it across the room, burn it, do something like that. So that's what you can do with any Sixers things. You know what? I might smash this cup later, so you never know. So
get a video of it if you do. Oh,
no.
your tea. Are you having your tea out of the 76ers cup?
Yeah. No, I'm keeping this for commemorative purposes. So don't worry. I'm keeping that. It's a nice, cool little cup. So
well, no cups will be getting smashed tonight, so don't worry.
Sorry,
all
guys.
of our Sixers fans out there, we will stop depressing you guys and go ahead and get into what we're built for. Jack, I'll go ahead and let you take this one first. Offensive line experience. Eagles lose a big offensive line piece. He played a little bit at right tackle and a little bit at left tackle. How you feeling about losing Freddie J?
Yeah, I mean, Fred Johnson was definitely a huge asset to this team. I mean, when his name was called on, throughout the season last year, he, filled it pretty well, especially when Lane Johnson went out on injury. Mekhi Becton went out on injury. Like, he was just an interchangeable piece that not many offensive linemen are built that way. So that is definitely a huge asset because we just have depth, which I still think we have depth at O-line. But, yeah, parting ways with him is definitely a huge thing that I wish we didn't. But we still got Tyler Steen, so maybe he'll step up and kind of show – because, I mean, Fred Johnson was probably one of the only, like, vets other than, obviously Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata on the O-line. So that's definitely a huge asset that we need. But the good thing is if we depending on how we draft, there's a lot of great O-line guys in this draft that we can definitely pick up in the draft and fill that role in pretty good. So at the moment, I'm a little upset, but in due time, and we got Jeff Stoutland, who's one of the greatest offensive lineman coaches in the NFL, National Football League. So we'll see what happens, but definitely a big shot at the heart with him going.
Yeah, it's a loss for sure. But the thing is, with a guy like Stoutland, he knows how to develop and also really bring out the best in people. And I think out of this guy, I don't know if we had this as a topic, but we decided to sign Kendall Lamb. I didn't know too much about the guy, but I saw a post of an interview of him where he was talking about how the organization down there in Miami, obviously with their offensive linemen, he was saying how it's kind of like he didn't feel like the whole like system over there they didn't really know how to actually like develop offensive linemen. So I think that's a good thing for him coming up here. I mean, coming to a place where they've been able to honestly revive and kind of help Mekhi Becton. I know that he left, but help him go get a great contract with the I'm about to say San Diego, but LA Chargers. So I think that's the good thing. He's able to get these guys to their full potential. So I think that guy's gonna be excited to come here to Philly. We're excited to have him for sure. But yeah, I know it does suck because Fred Johnson, there were some times where we thought, oh my gosh, like Lane Johnson went down one game. Like, oh gosh, Fred Johnson's got to come in. And Fred Johnson actually stepped up. He did really good. So I feel like it does suck, but then also at the same time, though, we have some depth for sure. And we have some guys that are potentially some good offensive linemen that can kind of help this team kind of protect Saquon and protect Jalen Hurts.
I think, in my opinion, I'm going to miss him. He did have personality too, but he just really was one of those players that, like, I know Jack knows more than either of us because he played football, but do you ever just have like Cooper DeJean is a good example of this. He said it when he came to Philly, just a football player. Like the coach asked him to do something and he's just like, yep, I gotcha. Doesn't complain, does it with a smile on his face, has a good attitude, and is just a team player. Anybody that you lose that has that mindset is always going to be a big loss to the team. But I will say, I mean, it's a good look for Fred Johnson. He goes out, I think it was a 1-year deal with the Jaguars. So he gets to kind of test the waters with that what they're doing there with their new coach. I think it's a smart deal for him. He can make some short-term money, get paid for what he's worth after winning a Super Bowl with a good attitude. And then who knows? I honestly wouldn't be shocked if he comes back to Philadelphia after that, because now you bring in Kenyon Green, somebody who sucked last year, like 58th out of 59th in the PFF rankings, or maybe it was 59th out of 59th as far as tackles go, or guards, whatever he plays. Point being, for the Eagles, if they can develop this guy, which they can, you got Stoutland, he's going to be a great piece for a long time. Stoutland's great at taking this blueprint for, hey, here's a first-round pick that rather now, like you kind of saw with Becton, the big ticket, he had just a shitty organization around him in the Jets. The Jets consistently are shitty. I'm convinced of that now. I used to think when I was a kid and me and Jack would play Madden franchise, oh, the Jets will be good one day. Oh, the Browns will be good one. No, they're going to fucking suck for my life. They're going to suck for your life. They're going to suck for your grandkids' life. And they're going to suck at the end of the world. They've just sucked for all time. They're just
sorry, Jets and Browns fans.
Their owners, it's in their DNA to just fucking fumble the bag. It's just how it goes. The Eagles were a franchise that was guilty of that before the Lurries got here. The Lurries saved the day. We didn't know what a Super Bowl was until we had great owners like them. So I think that with that being said, I do think that for players like Kenyon Green, like Mekhi Becton, it's like a billboard having somebody like Jeff Stoutland and Mekhi Becton come through here. It's like, if I'm an offensive lineman that's a free agent, I want to go to Philadelphia because I know I'm going to be better as a player. I know that they have a great culture. And calling it like it is, big boys like to eat. I know I'm going to be fed well. The Eagles have one of the best kitchen staffs in the NFL. You hear the Eagles players talk about what it's like to play here. The Eagles take care of their players. So I feel like as an offensive lineman, the Philadelphia Eagles organization is one of the most, if not the most attractive organization to play for in the NFL. Like, that's the golden standard of being an offensive lineman. I know if you talk to any running back around the NFL, they'll tell you that. But I feel like for offensive linemen, there's going to be a shift where as a free agent, you're going to want to go to Philly, and it's not going to be about getting paid. It's going to be about sometimes reviving your career or glory, which is a good thing for the Eagles.
Yeah, one thing I want to say was, and then KJ, you can kill it, take it out. But I mean, I think that is more so said for any running back. I mean, we treated Saquon Barkley well, and I mean, won a Super Bowl after first year being here. So I think it's more attractive for, that Saquon, who is a big name in NFL. I think him seeing successful and having a good career so far in Philadelphia really is we'll see more players come to Philadelphia. And then two, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I love the competition. We got Kenyon Green, we got this Lamb dude, and we got Tyler Steen. So, I mean, Tyler Steen, there'll be a, fight in the trenches to see, is he really, because I mean, when we drafted him, I think we did it for depth, but also as a project player. So I think with us getting rid of pretty much that side of the offensive line, I think we'll see the competition kind of bring some fire in his belly, and I think we'll see more reps in this season. That's all I got to say.
Was Tyler Steen out of Alabama, I want to say, is where we got him from?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, so I mean, he's played with some great, like when you think about run games, Alabama is one of the best in the nation. So I really think you could see some growth out of him this year. I know that's Jack's boy right there, if there's anybody's boy, Tyler Steen. How far do you think Tyler Steen will go this year, Jack? Do you think he'll end up the starter, or do you think it could be Kenyon Green? Who do you think will take on that? I guess it's the right guard spot that's up for grabs.
Yeah, I mean, I think being an Eagles fan, I think Tyler Steen kind of has that edge because he's been on the team for, what, two years now? This is going to be his third year. So I think it's going to be him. But again, we'll see if Kenyon Green or Lamb can kind of bring that competition to him and see if Tyler Steen is definitely worth it and if he really truly wants to be that starting position. So I think, as of right now, I think Tyler Steen is kind of the starter right now, but we'll see, OTAs and see what happens kind of preseason, see what reps when he gets reps and things like that. So I would say Tyler Steen for the time being, but we'll see how It really depends on him how bad he wants it.
Yeah, I'll say Tyler Steen. I think Tyler Steen is, as Jack was just saying, he has the experience. I think with Kenyon Green, coming from the Houston Texans. I mean, like the situation that he had, I think he's got to overcome a couple of things, and he's got to learn some things, obviously, from Stoutland. So we'll see what he learns, and hopefully he does kind of do like a 360 flip of his career. And I think Steen will totally kind of. I think Steen's been getting the kind of lessons from Stoutland and the other offensive linemen. I mean, obviously Mulata. You got guys like I'm trying to think about. You got guys, even younger guys like Juergens, who I feel like already has a lot of leadership. Who just kind of like has that, as we kind of said that before with a guy like Cooper DeJean, how we kind of said like how the young guy could just come in and just kind of learn. And the good thing was Juergens was able to really learn from a guy like Jason Kelsey. So that's what I feel like with a guy like Tyler Steen. I mean, you kind of saw what it takes to win, obviously win the Super Bowl. So I think Tyler Steen's got he's got some big shoes to fill, but I think he can do it though.
I think so. I think Tyler Steen can do it, but go back to Moose's comment right here. I think Steen will start, but it's his job to lose. That's a great point. It was his job to lose last year too. And Big Ticket came in and he really wowed Stoutland to where Stoutland was like, okay, I think I'll play devil's advocate, fellas. Kenyon Green was also a 2-time consensus All-American. So he's got some credibility through his name when he played at Texas A&M. The Philadelphia Eagles get a guard that is 24 years old. He's born in 2001, after 2000, that is 324 pounds, 6'4", and he was drafted 2 years ago in the first round, and he's a 2-time All-American. I'll take it. Whatever. Bring him in. Like, that just sounds good to me. It's almost like, how do you fuck that up? And when you have somebody like Jeff Stoutland that takes players that are so, like, I don't want to say, like, easy to mess up, but, like these guys are in the worst mindset when they come to Philadelphia mentally. Playing in the NFL, playing offensive line, playing any position in the NFL is not easy. And when you play at the 59th out of 59th in a position, that's going to eat at you throughout the whole offseason. That's going to eat at you the whole year. You're going to wonder, am I good enough? Am I not good enough? And that's exactly the guy that Mekhi Becton was a year ago. And that's the guy that Kenyon Green, I think, will be this year. Jack and KJ think it's going to be Tyler Steen. Moose said he thinks it's going to be Tyler Steen, but I like what Moose said as well. It's his job to lose. So I think that if he plays well, we're going to see a big offseason, I think, from Tyler Steen. Because if I was Tyler Steen, I'll say this and we can move on. I would be salty that I lost the position last time. I'll leave it at that. So we'll see if this ignites a new fire in his belly. But I think because of all of this and the draft shakeup, I think a lot of people are saying, what position will the Eagles go with first round? Will we see them go with the safety? Will we see them go with who's best available? I think that we will see the Eagles continue the trend that they have continued for the years that we've known Howie Roseman, which is investing in the trenches, my friends. I do think that the Eagles first round will invest in the trenches. I think with pick 32, you could see somebody like Walter Nolan. You could see somebody like Nick Scourton. You could see somebody like I don't think that they're going to trade up for Abdul Carter. I know some more reporters are talking about it because of all the capital that the Eagles have. Like the Eagles, I think that they have 12 picks in the next 2 years. And if that's the case, I'll leave it at this, Eagles fans. They are not going to use all of those picks on players. If they're smart, which he is, they're going to try to trade some of that capital and move up for picks or bring in different players. You're going to see a big monumental move on draft night. Like, it's going to be something crazy. I don't know if it's going to be Abdul Carter come to Philadelphia. It could be something else. But if the Eagles do decide to stay at 32, like Walter Nolan would be a great pickup. I could see them going with offensive line too if they want. If there's somebody there that they feel like they could get some good value with, hey, maybe. But as a whole, I would not be shocked if the Eagles decide to go O-line first round. I'll pull up my draft right here. One of the guys that I wouldn't be shocked if they take is actually, where is he? I'm drawing a blank. Number 1, Nick Emanowari, the safety from South Carolina, is who I said. But Derek Harmon, the defensive tackle from Oregon, I think is a really good prospect. And Kenneth Grant, the defensive tackle from Michigan. Some people are saying that him and the other defensive tackle from Michigan, Mason Graham, who's supposed to be a really high draft pick, that the two of them are interchangeable. They're just as good. The Eagles are really good at developing offensive linemen. I'm not on the defensive tackle train. If this team drafts a defensive tackle, I'm going to probably have a conniption, even if it's best available. Like, I just am. I don't want another defensive tackle. I really don't. I would like, ideally, if we go on the trenches, give me an edge or invest in a tackle. I'd actually take a tackle. I think where they're at, they can get a good tackle to replace Lane right now, and they can let him stay for another year or two while Lane stays here. But that's my take.
Yeah, I don't know names or anything like that quite off the top of my head, but I think we'll see, an edge rusher or we don't really have much depth right now at D tackle, and that's something that we don't necessarily need.
Well, you got JD, and you got Jalen Carter, but I hear what you're saying. Besides that, Milt's gone. Well, you got a Jomu. A Jomu's here. So that's like why I wouldn't invest in D tackle, I say.
But I mean, one of one, I think we would go O-line, just kind of built more depth, like Dalton said, kind of go with the tackle position. And then, maybe second round, go with another offensive lineman. And then maybe your next pick, your third pick, get like a D tackle. Because, we have all of the, positions. We have the receivers, we have the running backs, we have the quarterback, we have, for the most part, off the line, we got good D tackles. I'm not sure, how Jomo's going to do. I'm sure he's going to be fine, but, that's kind of the gaping hole is, backing up Lane Johnson, backing up Jordan Davis or Jalen Carter, because, this is not really make it break it, but this is definitely a big year for JD, because Jordan Davis, kind of towards the end of the season last year kind of showed up. But, he's kind of been that sore spot at that position. He was too fat, didn't get that many touches. For God's sake, even though he's an edge rusher, but BG got more reps than he did last season. So definitely, kind of maybe not your first 2 picks, but down the road, maybe go with, a D tackle or some sort, or an edge. But that's kind of what I'm looking at.
Mac, any thoughts?
Yeah, with the draft, I don't know too many of the names, to be honest. Obviously, we do know Abdul, we know Travis Hunter. But for the players for our draft pick at that moment, with the 32nd pick, I'm not too worried. I feel like Howie knows how to find a hidden gem. I feel like he knows how to find certain players and kind of bring out the best talent out of them. So that's a good thing. So I won't be so mad. If they get another defensive tackle, I think that's a good move. Because obviously losing a guy like Milton Williams, who that was a pick that he actually got laughed at by some of the other people in the organization. And that turned out to be a great pick. He's the highest paid New England Patriot of all time now. Think of that. The guy that Howie Roseman took, where that one guy wouldn't shake his hand. He was like, that's not a good pick at all. He's like, I don't like that. Nope. That guy got a big check with the Patriots. So, yeah, it's crazy to think that some of these players can be worth that much. So hopefully he can find another guy like that. Because I think losing a guy like that, obviously you kind of got to fill that void, which I feel like there's some players that can fill that void. But yeah, if we can go for one of the defensive tackles, I won't be mad at that at all. But I think if they could make some kind of move, they could make a trade like how Dalton was talking about. They could make a trade where we were like, oh my God, we were shocked when we went for that trade and trade away our pick. And then I think, it was a pick. And then we got AJ Brown a couple drafts ago. So there could be a crazy trade like that, a slam dunk move where we get some kind of safety or something like that, where a safety that we thought that would not leave a certain team. I'm trying to think of it like one of those elite safeties right now. But like, yeah, I mean, like if we get one of those moves, like if we get a safety like that, I think that'd be awesome. So I think that would be a great kind of how we kind of move. I do think of anything, there will be a trade that happens this draft that we will kind of be kind of shocked by. I think that's going to happen.
I like it. I think the NFL as a whole with the safety position, I don't know if you guys agree with me on this take, but the NFL as a whole in the safety position and the competitiveness, especially over the past decade, I feel like has went down. When you think about the talent level that we saw out of the NFL safeties in the 2010s, especially Ed Reed. I mean, I know you had some of these guys at the end of their career, like Dawkins was before for the Philadelphia Eagles fan, but you like think about Tyrann Mathieu, Harrison Smith, who's still playing to this day. But who?
Polamalu.
Polamalu, great example.
Yeah.
I just feel like like a safety used to mean so much more to a defense, and it's really became an interchangeable position in the NFL. Like I feel like the best of the best safeties, the best safety in the NFL right now, like I think ranking wise, they say is Antoine Winfield Jr., which he's an exceptional player. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's like the competition is Antoine Winfield Jr., Kyle Hamilton, Jesse Bates, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Marcus Williams, Javon Holland, Derwin James, Xavier McKinney, Kyle Duggar, Tyrann Mathieu still on that list at number 10. And that's PFF ranking them. None of those guys really, I feel like, are that exceptional of a player, or like they're difference makers, but I don't feel like they're worth getting a bag. Like when you say somebody like Jalen Carter or Myles Garrett, that's a real wrecker for a defense. Those guys, they might get 3 or 4 picks a year, but so do some of those other safeties like Reed Blankenship, who I think last year had 3 picks just against the Commanders. So I don't know. I just feel like with safety, I would love if they brought somebody in, but there's like Javon Holland just became a free agent. He would be somebody that I'd be happy if they traded for. Xavier McKinney would be somebody maybe. What about Derwin James, though? That's a really interesting name.
Great.
Like somebody like Derwin James would be an interesting player to come to the Eagle. What do you think about that, Mac? And then you, Jack.
I would like Derwin James a lot. I think he can actually really fit with this organization. I mean, obviously he's kind of been stuck with the Chargers recently. So, I mean, with Derwin James, that would be a really intriguing trade to actually happen, because I don't think he's a free. I think he just got a contract with them recently, but he could get traded. I mean, you never know. I would not mind that move at all. I would actually like that move. If we got Derwin James like during the draft, like we did some picks or whatever, we got rid of some of our picks. I would like that trade a lot. So I'm intrigued by that trade. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be a good pickup. It's just a matter of what would the Chargers want in return. I'm looking at his stats right now.
What do you think that they would want in return? Like, what would you be like? Say, pick 32, like straight up swap. If they said you could give up 32 for Derwin James, would you guys do it? I would.
Yeah, I think, like, I think so.
Unlikely.
You get a proven player at 32. Like, who else are you going to get at 32? Right?
I mean, we have a second round pick, right?
Yeah.
I think we have 64.
If we get to keep our second round pick, I'm fine with that. If the second round pick's not involved with that, I'm actually okay with that. I'm like, you know what? Go for it. Deal. That's a deal for me. Because I think that second round pick, I mean, you could find some. A couple of years ago, I mean, we found it in the 3rd round. We found him in Kobe Dean. We found it was Nolan Smith the second? What was he? Was he first? He wasn't first round. He was second round, right?
Nolan was second round. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you could find some.
Or no, he might have been late first round that they traded up, but he was later in the draft.
He was later, but I feel like you can find some guys, and I feel like in these drafts recently, I mean, you saw Cooper DeJean also. He was a second round pick too. That's another guy. So Howie's been able to find those hidden gems in those later rounds. So I feel like I would trust him trading away the 32nd pick. I think if we had a closer pick, like if we didn't win the Super Bowl, and we had like a closer pick, like say like maybe like the 20th pick, I think they would have traded for that for sure. It's going to be a little bit like, you know what, you got to give up some more picks as well with the 32nd pick. All right, what else can you add on to that? Okay, the 32nd pick, also the pick that you got from, for instance, if we did a trade for like, I don't know, I'm trying to think what other picks we have, but we have some from some other
So
teams.
we have right now, we have first round pick, we have a second round pick at
Yeah.
64, we have a third round pick at 96, we have a fourth round pick in 134, and 4 fifth-round picks, 161, 164, 165, and 168.
I wouldn't mind giving up 2 of those second-round picks and the first-round pick we have for Derwin James. I would not mind that, even though I know that like getting rid of those fifth-round picks might be a little risky. I would say since we have so many, give away 2 of them. You'll still have 2 other ones. So I think you get rid of those 2 other ones, and then you also give them the first-round pick. I think they go for that. I think the Chargers go for that. I think so. Maybe give them a player. You could maybe give them a player. I hate to get rid of one of these players right now, but you could get rid of one that you maybe get rid of like a younger kind of player. That's not like where you're like, oh my God, you're gonna have like the half of the fan base freaking out, like how CJ Gardner-Johnson was, but a player where like maybe like a guy like maybe a Jordan Davis, unfortunately, or a guy like maybe something like that. So I'm not saying trade Jordan Davis, but maybe that's just like an example I have.
I think you could do just the 32nd pick. I feel like the Chargers have kind of squeezed the juice that they can out of that orange with Derwin James. Like they've kind of gotten all that they can out of him at this age. And I feel like for the Eagles, bringing in a vet is a good thing in that secondary. Like now that Slay's gone, you really don't have a veteran. And CJ was kind of supposed to be that guy, not in Slay's opinion. Don't even get me started on that beef, Dave. Story for another day. But back to the point, yeah, I really like Derwin James. I mean, some of the other names like Antoine Winfield, I don't see the Buccaneers trading.
They're not getting rid of him. They've already stated that.
Jesse Bates, I think. Did he end up going with anyone yet?
He's I don't know. Did he go with I don't know. Was he he's a free agent, right? I thought he was with the Falcons. Wasn't he with the Falcons?
I think he's still a free agent to my knowledge. I don't think he signed with anybody.
Wow.
And he's still 28 years old. He was born in 1997. That's only a year before Dutch, guys. He's a really sharp player too. So there's still a lot of players that the Eagles can look to bring in at safety. Honestly, if I was Howie, I'd go snipe him right now. I would bring him in here right now. You need a veteran in that secondary.
No,
I don't care if you bring in another corner or a safety, but I would want a veteran.
Never mind.
What is it?
But rather signed a 4-year, $64.2 million contract with the Falcons. So I think he's staying.
Yeah,
he end up staying.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard that he's maybe staying. I didn't know if it's Bates or the other guy. I'm trying to think the other guy's name. The other safety the Bengals used to have, but yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, he's a good player. I think if they could bring some, I like Derwin James though. I think that I was looking at the list and I'm just like,
that would be an intriguing pick. That would be an intriguing trade. I would like that a lot.
That'd be a win-win.
I really like that trade. That would be really cool. So hopefully Howie's listening and hopefully he's intrigued by it as well. But I don't think he is. He's probably sleeping and dreaming about another Super Bowl. So like we all are. So yeah, that's a good thing.
Get your rest, Howie. We will too, but that's everything we got for you guys tonight on 302 Birds. I don't know if we're going to do the Sixers post-game show. I'll talk to Mac about that in a second. I'm a little bit tapped here. I don't know if he is. But we'll talk about that after. I know we'll definitely be live Friday, and if
trivia real quick
help with that, I can help for the Sixers, and I'll hit the trivia too. The other thing I wanted to say too is if you guys aren't doing anything, I will probably have an announcement for it by next week's show. I'll definitely have an announcement for it. But we are going to be having an event here about 3 weeks out from tonight, which is crazy to think about, at Klondike Kate's to benefit the Eagles Autism Challenge again. We're still figuring out the details. We're trying to get a player if we can. If we're not able to get a player, we will just be doing the celebrity guest bartender event as before. So if you are a celebrity guest bartender listening, stay tuned. I'll be reaching out either way because we would love for you guys to come to the event to celebrate with us. But like Jack reminded me, let's go ahead and hit it home with our trivia.
Time for everybody's favorite part of the show, 302 Trivia, with your host, Jack Dalton, the mayor of Delaware.
This will be rapid fire. So thank you to TickPick for that sponsorship. Appreciate it. It's Phillies season tomorrow. Buy your tickets through TickPick for no extra fees. So tonight's question we have for you is, who was the founder that led to the creation of the Philadelphia Eagles? A, Burt Bell, B, Greasy Neal, C, Lud Ray, or D, Jerry Woolman? Going to the fans. The only person that got it right was the Moose. He said the right answer. And then Dalton and KJ said the right answer, and that was Burt Bell. Burt Bell is your answer for tonight's trivia. So that means fans with 2, Dalton with 3, KJ with 2. So Dalton is in the lead right now. We'll see if that, dies down because, Ashley hasn't been on the show for the answer. So maybe that's maybe that's why you're winning. But without further ado, April 16th is our Eagles Austin Foundation fundraiser in Klondike Kate's, Newark, Delaware. Make sure you're there. We would love to see you. Without further ado, hey, Josh, it's an outro, not an intro. Hit that motherfucking outro.
Here we go. 302 birds. You know, stink.